Hey guys, welcome to the WIP Workshop. This is a brand new series that you guys can submit some of your work in progress mocks. And I'll take a look at them and I'll give my 2 cents on how I think you could advance the mock a little further. So maybe you need a little bit of advice, a few tips so that you can keep working on that mock. You're a little bit stuck, I'm here to help you out. So if you've got a WIP that you're currently working on, of course WIP stands for work in progress. If you've got a work in progress mock that you're working on, you need some advice, send it over through the email that you're currently seeing on your screen right now, and I will put it in the episode. Be sure to clearly label that it is a WIP and it's not for BIS, because I might get confused. So, be sure to submit. Happy to do so and happy to talk about them. So, let's talk about 3 awesome WIPs that have been submitted for this episode today. So without further ado, let's begin. So this first WIP is just by Jafer. I'm not going to name these WIPs because often with work in progress mocks, you haven't really figured out a name yet because it's still, a work in progress. So if it has a name, it doesn't have a name right now. But it happens that this actually does have a name. So this is one of the Borat Queens. If you don't know what the Borat Queens are, they were an old Bionicle set. One of the best. Had the coolest, little shooty neck function. Didn't really shoot, but you sort of pulled the tail back and the head, launched forward. Very awesome set. Very, very cool. And Jafer here is revamping one of those Borat Queens, the blue Borat Queen, whose name escapes me. Gorak? Nah, it doesn't matter. The blue one. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about this WIP so far. So, something that I really like about this is how much you've adapted this. I think you've done a fantastic job here, Jafer. It really reminds me, kind of what you're doing with this, kind of reminds me of a Thornator, I believe it's called, from Avatar. Kind of a little bit of nods from that, and also that Thornator then reminds me of your Saber-Tooth Tiger, as well as your Salamander mock. So it's interesting how kind of a lot of your mocks are kind of revolving around that general aesthetic, but in different ways. It's not like you're rehashing the same thing. I think it's super, super cool that you're kind of forming this unique style. I think I really like that a lot. So maybe you could take little nods from that Thornator, possibly, but there's some other. I got a whole list of notes here, Jafer. You slow down. We got some more to discuss. Really love the adaptations you've done to the body. You've kind of kept the same general basic frame that's similar to the sets. I like that, but you've adapted it. You've changed it up. You've made it more organic, more sort of free-flowing. It's very nice. Also, the new colors are really good too. I like that a lot. The fact that, if you are revamping a set, sometimes the colors of a specific set might be really difficult to work with. Nowadays, there's not a lot of blue, I mean, there is, but you're limiting your parts range a bit. So introducing the purple and introducing the black there, you've got a lot more that you can play with, and the purple's just a nice accent color and stuff like that. It's a nice idea. So really good idea to introduce a new color there and kind of give you a lot more kind of possibilities and a lot more to play with. It's a smart idea, and I like that a lot. It looks really good. It's really effective. I also love the eyes. This is my favorite part of this mock. When I was seeing early WIPs of this before I decided to do the WIP workshop, I was like, I can't wait to put this on BIS. That eye design is the coolest. The fact that you've kind of got those studs flowing down into darker colors like that. Oh, that's so clever. I love that a lot. Please keep that. If you change that, I'm gonna cry. That's so cool. I do wish the head could punch though, just because I love that function about the original Barag there. But I don't mind. I really love the kind of overall shape that you've got, so you don't have to have it do that. But if it could do that and still look super cool, you'd win a lot of points. So that's cool. But some things that I think you could look into in terms of advancing this a little bit more further forward. It looks pretty done to me, though, to be totally honest with you. I know you haven't actually attached those axles onto your, or not the axles, the flex tube onto the head there, because for the people at home, some of these pictures you can see that Jafe has actually just drawn them on. And I think it's a really clever thing to do. Maybe you're stuck with the mock. We'll take a photo with just with your iPhone or something, and then go into the little SketchUp option that you can do in photos, and just kind of draw on it. You might be like, oh, what happens if I put some lines on the head here? Oh, you could have some spikes. Let me just draw those in. And then, you can kind of see what it might look like, and then go, oh, actually, from this drawing, I can actually advance this further and put this into my mock with pieces now. I think that's just a clever way to kind of help visualize what's going on and what you're kind of thinking and planning with the mock, as well as just a unique way to kind of experiment and play. Even if you're kind of limited with pieces, you might just kind of draw it and then go like, oh, I could put that in Lego, actually. Yeah, there you go. So I like that as a clever thing to do there, Mr. Jaferman. But some other stuff you could do to continue with this mock. Be interesting to see some other kind of Borat aspects on this mock. I've always kind of thought with the Borat Queens, I never really got that they were the Borat Queens. I was like, they don't even look like Borat. They're totally different. Shouldn't they be just bigger Borat or something? So it'd be interesting if you could somehow kind of put little nods to the Borat in there. It's a little bit difficult because of the, like we were saying, the shapes of the two of them are so different. But maybe something subtle, like putting in the blue Borat like shield weapon things, like sort of finding a way to implement those. That could be cool. Whether or not that actually works with the kind of overall flow of the mock, I don't know, but it could be cool if you do it. But something I think that could be really interesting, but would take this mock in a different direction, would be if you did some kind of like creepy, like trans-colored underbelly, and then there's like Krana inside it, so it's kind of got this weird like birthing pod, and it's like giving birth to Borat or something. To be creepy, but it'd be kind of cool and be kind of unique, and it would definitely play into the whole Queen Mother thing. It'd be messed up, but it could be interesting. I don't know how much that plays into the actual lore of Bionicle, but it's an interesting take on the Borat Queen, so maybe that's something to consider. Creepy, but something to consider. One thing you could consider, I do like the changes you've done to the overall shape of the mock, but it'd be interesting to maybe curve the tail down a little bit like the sets are, because yours kind of curves up a bit more, but maybe we'll try curving it down, who knows. Also, I definitely think put those flex tubes in, I definitely think have them be black. You could do them blue, but I reckon black looks better. But it'd be interesting to expand on those a little bit. Maybe a little something like these pictures here. Maybe you could do something crazy, something cool, like this funky dragon here with these spikes going forward as well as some going back. That could be interesting. A little bit of a departure from the original set, but it might look cool. Or you keep what the set had, but maybe you do something like this, getting like a whole like kind of crest of spikes at the back, or a bit more like this, like kind of more feathered or something. That could be interesting. But I don't know, I kind of like what you've got. I kind of like how it's very similar to the original set. But it'd be interesting to just see some sort of like ornate crest sort of feather flourish on them towards the tips or the ends or something. It could be interesting. Just something to play with. I like that idea. I think that's cool. Or even if it is a bit like the Thornatus from Avatar, like it's kind of got multiple sort of ornate feathery crest things coming out of like its ears, and then it's got those two long flex tubes. That could be interesting. Maybe that's something to try. But I don't know. I've just given you some suggestions. You can listen to none of it. You can listen to all of it. That's what the WIP Workshop is. Just me giving my 2 cents. You might listen to it and be like, oh, Cossy, you don't understand the complex nature of this mark. You don't understand the years of backstory that goes into it. And I'll be like, no, I don't. So I was offering my 2 cents. There you go. Here's some money. There's my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. I don't mind. Anyway, that's it for Jafer's mock. I wish you well as you continue to work on that. Let's take a look at the next one. We're going to be, of course, talking about 3 in this episode. And this one is by Cytran. And I think this is Cytran. I think this is his self-mock, but I did say we wouldn't be saying names in this, but here we go. I'm saying names in all of them. So there we go. I love the color scheme on this, dude. This is really cool. There's some really awesome kind of color distribution between this. Every bit has just a nice little bit of silver. I think you've balanced the colors very, very nicely. I think that's very commendable. I think you've done a good job there. Also really like the unity created with these funky, I have no idea what they are, but they're a Bionicle G2 part, these silver bits that you've used on the lower legs and the lower arms. I like that there's just that kind of visual kind of continuity between the two there. They kind of flow into each other like that very nicely. I like that a lot. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you're doing a good job so far. You specifically said, and so when you submit your stuff, if you want to specifically say like, Cossy, I'm struggling with this, then go ahead, say that and I'll focus in on that. You were saying that the back and the shoulders need a bit of work. So here's my recommendations. I personally think that it'd be really cool if you took a look at some of these things. So here's some pictures that I found online that maybe is something to think about. We just saw this mock in the last Biss episode, Servitus. Maybe it's something to think about, is the element of the mock. I assume it's ice. I'm only saying that just because he's got the white color scheme. Kupaka was ice, he was white, all that sort of stuff. So maybe you can think about sort of implementing the element a bit more like Servitus has here. Maybe some of those ice pieces might be useful, maybe doing some stuff like that. Or since you were saying you're struggling with the shoulders, maybe you could add some shoulder pads like this with some masks, because I think it really, really serves Servitus here. So maybe play around with some masks that you've got, see if they might work as shoulder pads or something like that. And I know that you actually have another arm there, but some of these earlier photos don't have that other arm. And so initially I thought he didn't have an arm, and then I was thinking of a few things, and I was like, that'd actually be kind of cool if his other arm was asymmetrical. Maybe he's a little bit like the cyborg Spider-Man. We just saw that suit come out in the PS4 Spider-Man game. That could be really interesting, doing an arm very similar to that, especially with that cool kind of almost gladiator style kind of like armor kind of going up on the shoulder there. Maybe something like that. Maybe he's asymmetrical, got a robot arm. Maybe he's even got like a little scope eye over the Evoke there. That'd be actually really cool. That would make that mock really, really unique, which I think would be pretty cool. You may be taking it in a new direction, but I think it'd be worthwhile doing so. I kind of like that a lot. That'd be really cool. Do that. And then you said you were struggling with the back a little bit. Something that I think could be cool and I think would serve the mock as it currently stands is maybe getting a little inspiration from Infinity War, taking a look at Mr. Iron Man, Mr. Tony Stark, taking a look at his Iron Man suit with the cool wings that he's got at the back there, and maybe even some of the nanotech weapons. Maybe he's got like a cool gun arm attachment as well, some stuff like that. That could be an interesting path to go down. And I don't know, I really dig that aesthetic of the Mark. I'm testing my Marvel knowledge and I'm going to get this wrong. I feel so bad. Mark 52. Please correct me in the comments. I need to know what that is. I'm going to mess that up. What number is it? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Lords of Marvel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Stanley. I failed you. I don't remember what number that is. But getting inspiration from that Infinity War Iron Man, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think it would serve this mock nicely. I like it a lot. So yeah, maybe look into that. That's it for that mock. Let's look into the next one, which is by Manoramp Matoran. And this is a mock, which is only a jetpack right now. I believe an unfinished jetpack. I don't think it's quite finished yet. But this is going to be this cool concept of this kind of jetpack girl. Like, Dave really wanted to play with the kind of pink Friends color schemes. You know, a lot of people say those wing pieces in airplanes and stuff are awful pieces. They're horrible to use, and I would 100% agree with that, because if I see a bulk lot online and I'm considering getting it, but then I see it's got some of those plain wing pieces in it, I go, nope, I ain't buying this. But I guess that's just some limited thinking. You can actually use them in something awesome like we're currently seeing on this whip so far. So how can we expand upon this whip a little bit? Well, let's figure that out now. Yes, like I said, I commend you for using those pieces and using it well. Great idea to make them into a jetpack. Some lovely integration with some system here. I like it a lot. I really like the little sticker edition that you've got there on the back fin. It's a really nice sticker. I don't actually know what set that comes in. I have no idea. Might not even be a Lego sticker. Tell me in the comments. But it's cool. I like that. It kind of makes me think of GAC. I believe that's how you pronounce it. GAC. It's this weird kind of like subgenre of microscale space speeders. If you just search GARC on Flickr, you'll find it. But it's this cool thing that people do where it's all these like racing ships and speeders and things from the future. And basically the way you make it is you build a ship and then you shove a bunch of stickers on it, and it's kind of like, you know, all the advertising on like sports race cars and stuff. And it looks really cool. It makes this really interesting aesthetic where, I mean, you're currently seeing it on the screen now, where it's very sticker heavy and it kind of gives this interesting kind of almost slightly futuristic look, but also looks very like kind of racing. And I don't know, I think it's an interesting aesthetic, and I think it could be interesting to play with that on this, you know, maybe this jetpack girl, she's like a roller derby girl and she's got this advertising on her and stuff, and or she's like an artist and she just like draws on everything. Maybe she's got tattoos. Oh, that'd be cool. Yes, I don't know, that might be an interesting aesthetic to play with, especially too because I mainly see that stuff in micro scale. It's interesting to see that in a larger scale, especially larger, because Bionicle is way larger than like minifigure scale and stuff, so that'd be interesting to see. I like that idea. Obviously, and you've already told me that this was an inspiration already for this, obviously taking notes from DVA from Overwatch, that's definitely something to consider. Something else, I just found these pictures online, shoulder-mounted jetpacks on your jetpack. Oh, shoulder-mounted jetpacks. I meant shoulder-mounted miniguns, but I also like the idea of shoulder-mounted jetpacks. That's also a great idea. She could have drones on her shoulders that turn into armor and then become additional drones with guns on them. That was a happy accident. You saw it all, you heard it all. That's actually really cool. I actually would like that. You should do that. That's not what I meant, but that was a great accident. That's cool. There we go. Do that. Yeah, shoulder-mounted Gatling guns. That would be cool on the jetpack. And then goggles. I like the idea of goggles on the little jetpack lady there. I think that'd be cool. I also like the idea of like little nods of like steampunk. That might be kind of cool. But then like pink steampunk, because what makes steampunk cooler? The color pink. Yeah. So I like that. I think that'd be interesting to play with some of those ideas. Maybe hopefully those pictures inspired you. I also saw a picture, I didn't save it, but it was like a bobblehead with a jetpack, like a Funko Pop that had a jetpack or something. And I was like, oh, you could build a bobblehead girl, like a super like anime cute like bobblehead. Like her head is drastically way too big. I don't think that's the look you're going for, but that could be fun. So yeah, there you go. There's some thoughts. All three of you are doing fantastic work so far. I look forward to seeing where these whips go. This is my 2 cents on all of your whips. Hopefully I've helped you out a little bit. Hopefully I've inspired you, maybe given you some interesting directions that you can take these mocks. And so if you want some interesting directions which you can take your mocks that you're currently working on, or you're a little bit stuck on the whip that you're currently making, contact me. Let me know. I will help you. The only way that I will submit, that you can submit your mocks to the WIP Workshop is through the email that you're currently seeing on your screen. You already saw it at the start, but you're seeing it again. So yeah, if you want to submit your mocks, do that way. Please just let me know. This is for the WIP Workshop. That's all you need to say. You can say more if you want. You can say what you need specific help with. I've already told you this, but I'm telling you it again. Anyway, that's it for the WIP Workshop. This was episode 1. See you in episode 2. When am I going to post it? I don't know yet. Well, I'll post it when I get enough submissions. As long as I have 3 whips that I can put in an episode, I'll make an episode about it. And that's the cool thing. Every single one of these mocks will be a submitted mock. So if you want to submit something to the show, I can only do these episodes if I have submissions. So, do that. That said, I could just go online and, like, take people's whips, but I'm in a bunch of, like, Discord servers and things like that where I could just take someone's whip and put it in and they'd be like, Cossy, that was a private Discord server. What were you doing? Why did you take my stuff without my permission? I'd be like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. And they're like, what the, and it would just be a terrible time. So, that's why I probably will keep it just to submissions, because I'd hate to accidentally cross a boundary I didn't even know I was crossing. So, submit away. This is a long episode. It probably won't be this long in the future, but it's late and I like talking. So there you go. Anyway, thank you. Hope you enjoyed the WIP Workshop. See you in the next one. Happy building. Bye for now. I winked at you when you did. I know you didn't see it because I'm behind a microphone. I don't have a webcam, but I did wink at you. So take that wink, put it in the bank, and leave it for a few years. And when you come back, it'll triple. You'll have 2 winks. So you just closed eyes. I'll be asleep like I will now. Perfect transition. Good night.